Kids.
Hey, kids. Hey, kids.
You don't have to edit any of that, Issa. It's all covered up.
Thank you.
No problem.
Eso Doe, who was in this very basement. We went out to dinner in this very basement. Eso Doe.
There's a lot of babies with platinum blonde hair out there. Woo! Woo! Babies with platinum blonde. Woo! You don't have to edit any of that, Issa. It's all covered up.
Kids, don't
There you
do
go.
Hey,
kids.
Telling my two daughters,
Girls.
you never know. You got to worry about every dick when you got girls.
Eso Doe, who was in this very basement. He came over the first time Shuli came over to podcast with us. We went out to dinner.
Good afternoon, Pedolino fans. That's right. They say, show me your friends and I will show you your future. You hear very different variations of that exact quote, but it's a life quote and it's one to live by. Show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. Show me your friends, show me your business partners, and I'll show you your business's future. I explained this to Shuli many times. When you're surrounding yourself with these losers, things are going to happen. And I truly believe in the curse of the Duke. Who doesn't? Think about it. The Deuce Pair and Carl, those two nerds, went up to Rochester, the worst place probably in New York, and had a convention that, 40 people showed up. 40 overweight drunks did show up. You got to give it to them there. But what happened right after? Actually, during it, the curse of the Duke. Those idiots broadcasted 6 presidential threats, which they are going to have to deal with now. And then in addition to that, they try to get out of Rochester, and the Duke shut down the entire airport for 3 days. Think about it. 3 days, no one could fly out of Rochester. That is the curse of the Duke. Don't cross the Duke. Everybody knows that. And apparently these idiots didn't learn their lesson. And to top it all off, it turns out that the Deuce Pair's best friend and #1 employee at the Shuli Network, the #1 by far, way more credible than Philip J. Russo, way more important than Bob and Mike and Zen, way more important. This guy, Eso, I never ever met, but Shuli would talk about him as if he was the next coming of Christ. And he's Jewish. For real, he actually loved this guy. I mean, they shared a lot of common interests, including wrestling, including playing video games late night, including smoking weed and playing video games late at night. And who knows what other interests they are showing. But as you see in the beginning, something's going on. The Deuce Pair is deleting all the videos with Pedolino. His name is Isolino. Apparently he's Irish, but Isolino, we'll call him Pedolino because we know what he did. We're going to go through the exact allegations. This is a warning for everyone here. If you are sensitive to certain issues regarding child abuse, you're going to tune out of this show because we're going to go into the exact details of what Pedolino was doing. This is Shuli's best friend, and best employee by far. Let's get into the first clip. And I just was on vacation and I come back and all this occurred. And I said it once, I said it again, do not cross the Duke. Whatever you do in life, do not cross the Duke. The curse of the Duke is absolutely real. Never ever forget the curse of the Duke. And I tried to explain that to the Deuce Pair. He did not listen. He's still not listening with Philip J. Russo. Now, I like Philip J. Russo, but the guy's got issues, all right? I like him.
But
I like his issues.
I need to share with you guys.
Now, you're all seen this video, but I want to go through it in a little bit of detail just for specific things that we're picking up on. We're looking for indicators of deception. And we're also looking at the Deuce Pair here having to admit that his friend, for over 10 years, has been viewing child pornography.
Serious stuff. I'd appreciate it if you guys super chat. I'm looking for any super chats. In fact, I have something else that I'd like for you guys to help me out with. The Shuli Show.
I appreciate the fact that the Deuce Pair did this, but if you're going to advise him on what to do, and it's to be authentic, but forget the super chats. Forget even mentioning super chats. Turn monetization off. You can do it before you come in. If you give a shit, turn it off. And don't go begging for donations, some bullshit charity. It's fucking bullshit that he's even asking about money, talking about money straight away. Within 30 seconds, he's begging for super chats.
Etc.
Because our primitive brain wants to...
We've seen this guy before, former FBI agent, special agent, and he will instruct us about indicators of deception. Remember, there's no 100% way to tell if someone's lying. They're just indicators, red flags, which you need to detect in your life.
tell us to either stand and fight or run away. So it provides extra energy to your limbs. When you're sitting there in an interrogation and you want to run, but you can't, many times you'll fidget with your hands or your legs, or you'll bring them up and then try to cover them in a grooming gesture.
And again, it's fight or flight. In this situation right now, the douchebag doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to come out and announce that his best friend and number one employee, the founding employee, for which I know, because when I was working the douchebag, and then when I stopped, after a few months, I kept hearing about this guy, Iso. Now, I didn't know who Isolino was. They would say Iso, that's short for Isolino. I had no idea that was the case either. But the douchebag really, really took a liking to him, and I feel bad for him. This was his best friend. You can see he's emotional right here. He's losing a best friend and a lover. You know, lover in not necessarily in a physical sense. I don't know anything about that. But clearly the douchebag has really, really hard feelings for Isolino. Or Pedolino, whatever you want to call him.
You might remember our producer, former producer.
You might remember our producer, former producer. Well, obviously now he's in prison. It's going to be a lot harder, but he was never a former producer. He was always on the show. And from what I can tell, apparently he was going through a divorce, but that didn't stop him from producing.
So it's come to, well, let me fill you in a little bit on the...
Watch for the grooming techniques. You see one right there. So red flags should be going off in your head. Remember, if you're looking at this guy and you say, did you cheat on me when you ask your husband that? And you know he does. Look for all these indicators of deception.
Backstory here. Last year, Iso informed me that him and his wife were divorcing. He needed some time away to handle that. He took his time away. He hasn't been a part of this in any way, shape, or form for over a year.
Right there. He's telling me that he's distancing himself from his best friend. He hasn't been a part of this in any way, shape, or form. Why would you say that? If you're going to come on here to cover your ass, then just tell us that. We get what you're doing. You're not outsmarting us by using these clever words and these phrases which you don't think we can interpret. Of course, right there you have to interpret what the douchebag is saying is, please, please, please don't judge me based upon the friends that I keep. Please don't judge me upon the employees that I keep. Because I haven't got anything else going on now. And I have to say this, and I told them privately, when I watch the douchebag now, no longer is it funny and no longer does it work. Do you know why? Because nothing they can point out that John Errol Melendez has ever done comes close to doing what the employee of TSN has done. Nothing comes close to Pedolino's actions. Nothing. John could have snorted coke off of Kate's mom's ass. And we had it on a hidden video, and it wouldn't even come close. So when they make fun of anything that John or Melendez does, my God, all John has to say is, douchebag, look who your number one employee is. Look what he did. It's so heinous and outrageous. So when you hear them talk, the whole steam has been let out of everything that they're doing because it just doesn't work anymore.
Since that.
Okay, so we're going to get into the criminal complaint. Again, if you have issues with any type of child abuse, you don't want to hear it. I understand that, but I'm just giving you a warning now. There's not a legal show. We're just going to go through what the public documents claim. This is the actual complaint that was filed. There's a criminal complaint that was filed by an FBI informant. So you have the feds there. Now, remember, the feds, in terms of the Secret Service, are going to investigate any types of threats against the president. But now you have the FBI investigating and filing this complaint. This was done over a year ago. So if you look here, you see that, I'm going to get out of the way so we can all read this here. On March 2nd, 2023, the wife goes in to the police station locally to report him. Now, here's an issue. When I hear this initially, I want to know, is there an ulterior motive? And of course, I know that if people are getting divorced, women and men will lie. They do it. It is really, really vicious in divorce court. But you have to wonder, why does she do it now, right? So they're going through a divorce. It is definitely an advantage to her to do this. She could be lying. She could not be lying. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's innocent until proven guilty. But either way, I am very, very suspect when someone makes a complaint when there's an ulterior motive. And clearly there is here. But she said that CW1 is the wife. Wife indicated the desktop computer that had child pornography had been sitting in the garage of Presutis, that is Isolino's last name, residence, for 3 years unused. Okay, so why didn't you do anything in 2020 if you said it was 3 years and hasn't been seen or used? That is very suspect to me. But Again, these are the allegations that the FBI agent is making. Check this out. In or about September 2016. How long ago is that? It's 2024. That's 8 years ago. Wife was living with Pizzuti in the town of Greece. That's upstate New York. During that time, the wife indicated she found the thumb drive hidden in Pedolino's weed grinder. So again, when we talk about indicators of deception, just indicators of somebody that you want to go into business with. They have a weed grinder. If they're smoking weed every day in their basement, red flags all over the place. Be careful. I mean, a lot of people assume that just because weed is legal that it's good to do. You'd rather have a partner that doesn't do it. But either way, she put that drive in, and what did she see? Naked children from toddler's age to about 10 years old. The children's genitals were exposed. Now, why don't you see Bob on that show? Because Bob's smart and he's cunning. And when I tell you this, he's smarter than you think. You want to distance yourself from any of this. Toddler's age, naked toddlers. This is who the dues payer's lover was. His best friend, his number one employee with a toddler age. And we're not just talking one or two. There's multiple. We're going to get through all of them here. And unfortunately, we have to go through this. If you don't like any of this stuff, just tune out and you can come back whenever you can. But the image depicts a little girl about 2 or 3 years old with a male's penis either in or on the child's face. And again, these are all public records now. And unfortunately for the dues payer, this is what we have to deal with. And look at this. Pedolino admitted that the thumb drive was his and that he was sick. And this is interesting because I don't want to come down so hard on Pedolino all the time, right? Because it's easy to attack the dues payer for befriending this guy and for employing this guy. It's so easy for me to do that now, and it's advantageous for me to do so. I'm not going to do that. There's a psychological issue, obviously, with Pedolino. It's not natural for a human ape to find a prepubescent ape attractive. It's just not. It's not nature. It's not what nature needs, because there's no point in mating with that type of ape. It's not going to result in any offspring. So obviously there's a psychological issue. Now he's saying that the doctor who had abused him in the past. So he's looking for an excuse. He's claiming that a doctor abused him in the past, and that's why he has to do that. But here's the thing. The wife, Pedolino's wife, didn't contact the police at that time. Now, I mean, if it is your wife and spouse, you would hope that they wouldn't ever do it. But clearly she did it when it was advantageous to her. So as an FBI investigator, they know this. And in fact, they put a footnote in there saying that she has a motive here to lie about this. So we can't just take her word for it. We got to find more. And they know this. They're not like state employees. They're federal agency, they're federal government employees. And this level, they understand that aspect. Pizzuti offered to sign the house over and send as much money as he could to the wife to keep her fucking mouth shut. And I get what he's trying to do there. He's saying, I'll give you everything, just keep your mouth shut about this. This is the dues payer's number one employee, unfortunately. And then he wanted her to sign a non-disclosure agreement, whatever. That's not a big deal. Okay, so now there were 5 different hard drives. Basically, every computer has at least one hard drive in it. There were 5 separate ones and 5 separate computers. The first one for the dues payer's best friend here only had 728 images of child pornography, ranging in terms of the age 3 to 5 years old. And you could see exactly what was going on this guy's computer. And remember, the dues payer met this guy while smoking weed in a chat room for video games. I mean, they're playing video games high at night in their basement. And that's where he met his best friend, I'll say his lover. I mean, the dues payer really liked him. And there's nothing wrong with this. We have no proof that the dues payer knew about this at all. There's nothing to indicate there. But I will ask you this, and I will tell you this, that in law, they say knew or should have knew. Known or should have known. The or should have known. So you have to ask yourself, should the dues payer have known about this? Should he have known about his best friends and number one employee, founding employee, about any of this? And then when did the dues payer find out about this? It could be never, but it's my opinion he should have known about it. Should have known. I have nothing to evidence the fact that he knew, but it's my opinion that he should have known. Here's a second device. There's another hard drive. 3,940 images and 27 videos of child porn. And you can read here exactly what was being shown on this. Toddler's age, performing sexual acts. Toddlers, Bob? You're going to look at the dues payer and say you're a good person to judge someone's character, you're a good person to hire somebody, no more. I mean, in terms of the dues payer, if I was representing someone like him in a hypothetical situation, you have to reanalyze and analyze what you're doing. You clearly can't make business decisions. You can't. You can't make any hiring decisions. And in fact, even when you want to bring in a new friend, we have to vet that friend. You don't have the ability, apparently, to make those decisions. You don't have the ability to pick up on indicators. You don't have the ability to determine who is going to be best for your business. Now, it's a private business. Most private businesses fail. He has every right to employ Pedolino. He has a right to do it. He doesn't have to discriminate against Pedolino, but I would imagine those of us around here don't want any part of the dues payer anymore for what he did and what he should have known. Let's move on. Again, more of this prepubescent, and I see Rob Saul can't say the word pubescent, but prepubescent Rob Saul, age girl with handcuffs. Prepubescent girl with handcuffs on, Rob Saul. How do you go and make fun of the Duke for trying to get cocaine when you're number one person, you're number one guy? And when I tell you this, Rob Saul made this statement. He said that when he met Isolino, that Shuli was praising this guy, and I can confirm 100% Shuli does that. He made this guy seem as if he's the best person in the world. I mean, the best. And now we know exactly what he was doing. Look at this. You can read exactly what was going on all of the pictures and videos in Pedolino's hard drive. It's disgusting. Device number 3, 1,000 images. So DuesPayer, you got to figure out that most of these devices most likely have all of the Shuli network stuff on it, because Pedolino was your number one person, the founding person. He was the one who was doing all this stuff. Now, I don't know what's on the DuesPayer's hard drives, because you never know if Isolino had access to the DuesPayer's hard drive, he could have put stuff on there. You just don't know. Maybe not even intentionally, but you got to be very careful. So if the DuesPayer, I'm giving you this advice, if you actually had access, he had access to your computer somehow remotely or directly, I would check him straight away, because you never know. And again, if you want to look at exactly what this is, I'm just putting it up there so you could see, but DuesPayer, this is just outrageous. The fact that you didn't pick up on any indicators from this guy, Pedolino, a dog cage, crawling, toddlers naked crawling in a dog cage. So if you look at where Pedolino was hiding some of the things, DuesPayer, look at Company of Heroes. I don't know if that's a video game that the DuesPayer was playing with Pedolino when they were smoking weed and sitting in their basement, but you have to check your files, DuesPayer. You have to.
It's come to my attention and to all of us here. Iso was arrested for possession of images depicting crimes.
Now, Carl gave away something, and every time I text the guy, he can't stop but disclosing my private text with him, even though he initially was mad at me for doing the same. Now, I thought he was going to stop that, but yeah, my brain immediately starts to think, like, who has a better HR department, TSN or Subway, because of the Jared thing. But I will tip my cap to Rocco. Rocco comes up with a lot of good pedophile jokes quickly, because I couldn't really come up with something. So yeah, I'm not necessarily utilizing this to bash the DuesPayer. I was thinking about jokes about it. That's just the way my brain works, and it always will.
Against children. I can't, I know you're saying spit it out, but I got to be careful with what I say on here, because like our channel could be fucked up with too much detail, and he's scheduled to be.
Thank you for super chat. I like you, but you're being gross here. Unfortunately, this is the reality of what we're dealing with. So when you look at the DuesPayer, you got to realize what this person he associated with was doing. And I don't necessarily want to come down so hard on him because it's so easy right now. And even the fact that that little DuesPayer bullies me and he's always picking on me, but this is what it is. If you can't handle the truth, then you got to get out of this industry right now, or just don't watch this video.
Sentenced in December.
Okay, so here we have the sentencing guidelines that the court has to use. And then you got to do your math, especially when you're a defendant at the defendant's table. So 78, you got to divide that by 12. And you're like, shit, 12 times 5 years is 60. If we add another 12, that would be 72. So it looks like 6.5 years up to 97 months. So that's what Pedolino is facing. So the good news for the Dewsbury is he will get out relatively young, and he could come back to his position, assuming he can't continue as a producer for the Dewsbury. I don't know, but this is the exact guidelines and the exact plea agreement that Pedolino agreed to. And we'll see what happens.
I want to make sure that everybody understands, there were never any signs of any of this. For those of you who have been with us from the start, I mean, there are many times where, Iso would be producing and you hear his kids in the background, and he always seemed like a good dad to me. I was in total shock when I heard about this. Denial, I'm not going to lie. I felt like there's no way the guy that I knew.
Gifting a dime, Maggie.
I swallow cum.
Thank me.
They could have stopped with the stupid super chats and the gifted memberships during this telling time, right? He's being so serious about this, and they still have to do that stupid thing when they get gifted memberships.
Never gave off any signs of anything like this, but who the fuck does, right? Like who, and I had no idea. None of us did. It's fucking insane.
I had no idea. None of us did. Dewsbury, you were the closest person in the world to this guy, outside of his wife. You were the one. We should not know anything about Isolino. Only you should know. We're not his friend.
As a father, it's fucking disgusting.
Mike, shitty internet provider. Unfortunately, you're alive. Can't wait until you're not. Now, Mike, I saw that you actually super chatted into the Dewsbury saying that I didn't read one of your super chats. I'm sorry. I didn't do that intentionally.
Yeah.
And you feel bad. The Dewsbury is losing a lover here. He's not going to be able to play with him anymore at night, smoking weed, in chat rooms, playing kids games, those video games. And you feel bad. I mean, if we lost such close friend and a number one employee, you would feel bad too. And you almost shed a tear here.
That's all I got.
I'm a human being. I feel bad that he's losing this guy in his life. He's not crying because of what Isolino did. If he's crying at all, it's because he's losing a lover.
I don't
And I'm not heartless. I understand that.
know. I don't know. So, I just want to tell you guys that. All right, we're up.
A tail right on the dude's face.
So here you have videos now. Luckily, we anticipated that the Dewsbury with Philip J. Russo was going to try and hide all of the Isolino and Dewsbury videos. So we downloaded all, and we got 100 of them, literally 100 videos, and we're going to be showing them throughout the rest of the time. So you never forget who the Dewsbury associates with. And unfortunately, he's got to live with this until he comes clean and stops with the excuses, stop blaming other people, and just say, I am really bad at judging people. I'm really bad at hiring. Probably the worst person to hire anyone. And from now on, going forward, I'm going to run everything by Bob Levy, and he will make the final decision. If he comes out and says that, then maybe I'll go and watch it again, but I want nothing to do with these creeps. Zero at all. He got 6K images before his wife caught him. He got 6,000 images before his wife caught him. Well, look, she knew as late as 2016, as early as 2016. Does it really matter? I don't care how he got caught. I don't care how much the Dewsbury knew or should have knew about this. It's the reality of it, and we have to deal with the reality. And above me is Isolino with the Dewsbury on one of the videos that they tried to delete. Luckily, we got them all. Philip J. Russo, my good buddy over there, who I love, he came up with the idea to lose all these videos, but not do it straight away. Luckily, he gave us the time to download them all, because otherwise we would have lost them forever. 310, go ahead.
Vince, what type of pretrial conditions do you think he had if he was released on bail, which I think he was? And the reason I mention that is because people have been reporting that they received electronic communication.
Great phone connection there. But if you're talking about pre-trial or pre-sentencing conditions, which means that there's time now between he gets actually sentenced, and is he allowed to go on the computer? Most likely he's not allowed to have any contact with minors, and then any contact with his children, and maybe even any contact with the dues pair. But who knows? We'll see what occurs. In the end, come December, he'll have to make his decision. Sometimes you can even check in early if you want to get your sentence going.
How much money are we talking about?
So now you have the dues pair on one of the videos that they hid. He is asking Isolino, they're pondering the question, how much to have a guy shit on your face? But the dues pair had no indication that anything was wrong, but this is what they're pondering.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite
The
thing.
words out
You
of my
gotta grow
mouth.
a tail onto his face, son.
How much money are we talking? It's gotta be a few.
When I first saw this video, I didn't know what Isolino looked like. All three of these guys look like pedophiles. Now, we know for sure one is. We definitely know that, but I had no idea which one was.
Mil, man. I mean, at least.
A few.
Yeah.
A few.
A few.
I'm not trying.
You can feel the chemistry between Pedolino and the dues pair. I mean, they really loved each other. They did. You know, not in a gay way. They just loved each other as men do. And it's unfortunate for the dues pair. He's losing such a close friend, and I feel bad about
To
that.
drew you down. I think you're going too low here, is my thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Producer ISO, just a mix-up. Do you need a producer? Yeah, we'll talk about, because that is obviously crazy news that came out with Iso Doe, who is in this very basement.
Apparently, he's from Carl's area, and Carl was close enough to have Isolino in his basement, apparently. So Carl had a known pedophile in his basement, not necessarily known to him, I don't know at the time, obviously known to Isolino at the time. But again, this is more proof that the dues pair was really, really smitten over this Isolino guy. And I could say firsthand, whenever he spoke about Isolino, he was smitten. He loved the guy. He was the best thing since sliced bread. If you talk to the dues pair, you would hear that in his voice.
He came over the first time Shuey came over to podcast with us. We went out to dinner afterwards, and he's a fucking creep, that Iso Doe. Who knew?
Knew or should have knew. Known or should have known.
Cyberganic $2. Let's hit.
That's it? That's Carl's big rendition there? That's all he's going to say? He had the guy in his house, in his basement. He broke bread with the guy. And that's all he's going to say. This is the problem I have with these guys. They're being very fake. I know that they're nerds in real life. I get it. But we see right through this stuff. They got a little notoriety now in this weird Dabbleverse. But you have to come clean. That's all you're going to say? You're not going to say that they should implement some form of hiring restrictions at TSN? I'm saying this publicly. Dues pair is no longer allowed to hire anyone. Bob has to make the final decision. He clearly cannot determine who would be a good employee long term.
That goal. We had a meetup at Lux Lounge on South.
So this is going into right before NerdCon, and they had a meeting at a gay bar, Lux Lounge. Now, you know that John Melendez had initially claimed that this guy Carl was gay, mainly because he had wood paneling and that his pool table had green felt. Now, Carl finally gets everyone to come up there. Finally, after high school, college, he's finally cool in his mind. And what does he do? He throws a mixer at a gay bar. Now, if you're gay, there's nothing wrong with that. But generally, straight guys don't want to be at a gay bar.
And that was great. Huge backyard. We get there, go outside. A lot of people were already there. A lot of people showed up. Everyone from the show. Vinny was there. The later it got, the weirder it got.
By weirder, he means gay, which is funny because a lot of gay guys will say that being gay is weird. And it didn't get weirder, Carl. It just got more gay.
As usual.
Which is Lux.
Yes, that is true.
I didn't pick Lux, but when it was suggested, I said, yeah, it's perfect. It's a big open space.
How come Carl never takes any responsibility? I didn't pick Lux. You know what Carl also said? I didn't know that the porn bomb that had Joe Biden was going to go out. No one takes any responsibility in this group. Amongst all of them, even you hear the dues pair, no responsibility whatsoever. It's your fault, not the dues pair's fault. It's your fault, not Carl's fault, that the bar that he chose was a gay bar.
Space, people want to smoke cigarettes and weed.
The weather was cooperating.
Yeah, it was nice out.
Yeah.
So
Give handos to guys behind the bushes.
it made sense. And then all of a sudden, it was funny because people realized that there's a lot of gay people there. And they're like, I think we're at a gay bar.
No, you are at a gay bar. Everyone from Rochester, including Buffalo, knows that Lux is a gay bar. They advertise.
Well, Lux isn't technically a gay bar.
Yes, it is.
It's all inclusive.
It's certainly inclusive. Yes.
Very festive.
You want to party? Gay nightclub. Tuesdays featuring the #1 drag show. Thursdays, the infamous gay Kahlo party. And Saturdays, great music, atmosphere, dancing, and world-renowned DJ.
I think that would be the way to describe it.
Well, what day
there was
did they go
definitely
on?
but
Because you said Tuesday was the drag, Thursday was gay day, and then Saturday I don't even know
the time
why.
we left, which was after midnight, it was definitely breaking out into like a gay dance club.
Carl, the only place gay guys go in terms of bar are gay bars. They don't frequent other places. They don't want to be hanging out with you straight people. They want a chance to hook up.
Looked like a lot of fun.
I got more semen on my shirt than on John's couch trying to get out of that place. Let's put it that way. But it was a lot of fun. Thanks everyone
Always the clown.
who hung out and came out and met us on Thursday night.
Thursdays, the infamous gay Kahlo party.
Yeah, so Thursday's the infamous gay party. He knew it. Look at that face. That's a guilty face. You don't need any indicators there.
Any other thoughts about the meetup? Or that was so long ago now. Vegas beer sales Jerry $2. Did you know about president threat before made? No, I did not. I had no idea that was happening. Would not have done that. Michael C. $2.
No idea that was happening. Would not have done it. Well, you're in charge of this. Ultimately, everything stops with you. When the Secret Service comes to you, you have to tell them exactly what you did. You were in charge.
And it says, oh shit, Carl.
You did shows where he was a producer with Isolino. Maybe. I don't know. I never saw him before. Perhaps he was a producer for Newspaper, but nothing to do with me. Does your crumbling marriage have to do with your Uggs? We're going to get to that.
From Ed, who are these pod, is going to use copyrighted music to prevent people from sniping. So I think that this old man's an idiot and was very confused and doesn't realize that we weren't doing things on YouTube. You are.
So apparently before NerdCon 2 was streamed live, that Kevin guy and Carl were having this issue on Twitter. Basically, Carl was threatening or saying, go ahead and snipe it. And I guess that's what happened.
We can do whatever we want because we're not on YouTube. That was the whole reason why we set up the system the way that we did.
You can't do whatever you want just because you're not on YouTube. The laws still apply regardless of wherever you're broadcasting. Of course, YouTube's terms of service don't apply if you're not broadcasting on YouTube.
So that we could play anything we wanted to and wouldn't get taken down or demonetized. But if someone was sniping us,
Clay Dabbler, my man, just do it. Yeah, I mean, it's okay that Carl likes to frequent gay bars and had this event at a gay bar. There's nothing wrong with gay bars. Gay bars are generally more fun than straight bars, I hear.
We could get them taken down or demonetized. We could get them taken down or demonetized.
So the whole thing with this stupid porn bomb and threat to the president, whichever genius came up with that, was to get people in trouble on their YouTube channels, which apparently Carl was against, and I wasn't following that much back then. But now they were intentionally trying to get people who rebroadcast or were using their content, even in a valid way. Remember, you could have used their content and provided your own content in theory, but either way, this would potentially have harmed them. So it was a very cruel thing for them to do.
With porn bombs.
Yes.
And this fucking idiot, even though I warned him, I said, it's actually going to be a video of your wife getting bukkakied by her boyfriend. Please snipe away, old man. So I tried to warn him, but he did it anyway. And we had 2 porn bombs loaded up. There was both.
Let me guess, Carl. You had no idea what was going to be in the one that was played, or you wouldn't have done it.
Famous ones from Stuttering John's show. The shit video. Who could forget that one? And then the other one was the KJB video, which was not a good thing to say if the Secret Service is paying attention. Thankfully, the Secret Service was not paying attention. They never are, it turns out.
Wow. These guys are playing with fire. Now you're taunting the Secret Service. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Carl, it's okay to admit when you're wrong. Say we fucked up. Whoever did that edit fucked up. And if you can't accept responsibility as the leader, then you're not going to be a great leader in the future. You are responsible for this. You and the dues payer. One of you guys is putting this all together. But either way, you had to know what your employees are doing, and they're not the brightest. I love Philip J. Russo, but he's not the brightest guy. He thinks he is. That's the real problem. You cannot rely upon anything Philip J. Russo says. I told you he's better as a performer than he is as a business person or producer. Don't rely upon anything he does or says, and it has to be checked. Run it by Bob at least. Bob's got more sense, and Bob's smart for staying away. Thank you for the super chat. You should have known since you were friends with Bob, Vince. I get what you're trying to do. It's just that this wasn't my friend. This is the douchebag's best friend. Best friend by far. And more important, best employee. The way he preempted this guy when you met him was astounding. As if this guy was Bill Gates. That's how the douchebag would present him.
Those guys were checked the fuck out. So it was fine. But some people were offended by who actually got the...
It wasn't offensive. It was just annoying. Annoying the fact that you were trying to get someone in trouble with this. I didn't know that that was the ultimate goal here. I thought somehow this was supposed to be funny, but it kept going and going.
And I do feel bad about that. I literally told I wasn't in charge of the porn bombing. I literally told people who were...
My God, man. You have to read some books in leadership. I know that you went to SUNY Brockport for marketing and you bought a house in Cape Coral, but learn to be a leader now. Forget the marketing part. You're a leader. All I hear is excuses, passing the buck. Take responsibility. If my employees fuck up, it's my responsibility because either I didn't train them or I didn't have a system in place to oversee them. It's my responsibility. You have to get that into your head. It's okay to be wrong and to fail. This was a major failure, but you can't taunt the Secret Service now and blame other people. It's just not the way a leader should act. Does the douchepayer have vicarious liability? Skull, well, you bring up a good point. What has the douchepayer done to assist the FBI? I didn't hear that yet. I didn't hear anything about giving the FBI his computer files, giving the FBI information about this guy who he knows so intimately. Remember, they met while smoking weed in their basements, respectively, playing video games, kids' games. So, what do you know? And help those victims out, douchepayer. Asking for $1,000 does nothing. Help those victims out. Maybe he's got more. And you know he probably does. I don't have any proof of that. But go help them out. I didn't hear that yet. I didn't hear that you're cooperating at all. Why is your marriage coming like Mike's THC cookies? We're going to get into that, I said.
We're running the thing. Like, we can just have a nice, attractive, naked lady. It could be something that we all agree is fine, but it's totally against YouTube's terms of service. Doesn't have to be anything nefarious, anything crazy. Just a hot chick. Maybe she's squirting.
862, go ahead.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Knock, knock. Surely.
Shuli who?
Exactly. Oh, you got it.
I don't know. Something fun.
That was really good.
Everyone can get down with.
Each to their own, I say.
But instead, they went with, some Dabbleverse lore. It makes sense to play those videos because...
It makes sense to play those videos. At what point is this guy going to take any accountability? Carl, I like you, but you got to learn to take accountability, especially when you're a leader. You're a leader now. This isn't high school anymore. No one's picking on you, apparently. You got to stand up and take responsibility. You made 7 threats to the U.S. president. 7 of them. Not 1, 7. Don't blame Moonhead. Moonhead doesn't know what's going out there. Someone at this organization or the dues payers made this video. They clipped it. They uploaded it, and they said, guys, get ready. We're going to do it. Like, it was so amped on getting revenge on Kevin. I don't know what the hell this Kevin guy ever did to them, but they were so blinded by this revenge, they had a threat to the U.S. president in there. And not one of them actually were listening or knew or had the common sense to say, maybe we shouldn't play that. And now Carl's backtracking. You take responsibility. If I was Carl or if I was the douchebag, I would say, I fucked up. It was my responsibility to make sure that my employees knew what they should play and what they shouldn't play. Apparently, my training does not include the fact that we cannot threaten a sitting U.S. president or one that's still alive. That's my fault, and I didn't have any detection system in place to make sure that it didn't go out. Doesn't that sound a lot better than what you're hearing now?
John got hit with both of those, so that's what we hit Kevin Brennan with, and that's fun.
That's fun? Tell that to the Secret Service, especially now that you're taunting them, saying that they're not even paying attention.
Fun that Kevin Brennan got hit with a porn bomb trying to snipe our show. He thought he had it all figured out. He's like, oh, they're going to play copyrighted music? I'll just hit it.
Oh, yeah, he's going to play copyrighted. We'll show him. We'll threaten the president 7 times. And the crazy thing about this is This is completely overshadowed because we didn't know at the time that the dues payer's best friend and lover was a pedophile. We didn't know this. So this is completely overshadowed by that mundane fact.
Get on. Okay. Put on mute when someone's taking a shit. Good luck with that. So Vinny had those clips loaded in, but he's listening to the room audio. So when he hit those clips, he had no idea what the audio was.
You should have known that. You're in charge of that. It's not Moonhead's fault. That's the system you have. Who made that clip? Who vetted that clip to make sure that it's okay to go out and make sure, I don't know, it doesn't have a threat to the current U.S. president? Accept some responsibility, man.
I think if he did, I don't think he would have played it more than once.
See? Trying to blame Moonhead. It wasn't Moonhead's fault.
Because the audio was not great. And not anything that I would have put on the show, personally.
But you did. You did put it out there. Every final product is yours. Don't blame Moonhead.
But the only people who heard that audio were the people who...
Was everybody. The only people that heard it was everyone in the public. This is so dopey.
Were streaming it. No one in the club even knew that was happening. So it's only
There were 40 overweight drunks in the club. You broadcasted to thousands of people. Probably 1.8K in terms of numbers if the dues payer was actually rebroadcasting it.
people who were streaming it, and then, there's some assholes who try to get people in trouble. Oh, let's get people in trouble. Oh, let's get people in trouble. Oh, let's get people in trouble. We could get them taken down or demonetized. We could get them taken down or demonetized.
When I say all criticism is self-criticism, you have it there. Look at Carl getting busted on his own show, making fun of people trying to get others in trouble when that's exactly what they were trying to do with the presidential threat. They weren't trying to threat the president, I don't think, intentionally. I think they were trying to get that guy's Kevin channel demonetized. I think.
Oh, let's get people in trouble. Fucking annoying. But it worked the way we wanted it to work.
It worked the way we wanted it to work. You better hope the Secret Service doesn't hear this. One, you're taunting them, but two, you're not taking any accountability. They want some remorse. When you deal with the federal government, they look past all your bullshit. You know when John makes these bullshit claims about me or anyone else? When they are presented to a federal court, they don't fuck around. They don't buy your bullshit, and it's very easily dismissed. You have to have accountability, and you have to have some sense of, I did something wrong, I won't do it again.
Shuley's Anonymous announced they will be contacting the FBI about nefarious activity at TSN. Wait for it, coming down to Pike. Well, here's something that may be hard for you to believe, but the FBI has been on this case for over a year.
He's speaking about Pedolino now. The FBI has been on this case for over a year. How do you know that, first of all? Second of all, what have you done in terms of contacting the FBI, dues payer? That's what I want to know. I'm not blaming you for what Pedolino did at all. It's not your fault. I'm blaming your reaction. I'm criticizing your reaction and your lack of accountability when you haven't helped any of those poor victims, any of those toddlers that we read about. Every second that you don't help that FBI uncover more victims hurts them. You were his best friend. You have information that will be helpful to the FBI, and they could still get it now.
Wow.
And no one from the FBI had ever contacted me or any.
How about you contact them if you give a shit about the victims? You came on here crying. I know you're crying because you lost your good friend and lover. That's okay. I understand that. It's emotional. You feel betrayed. I get that aspect. But now is the time to act. Contact the FBI today. Let them know what you know about this guy. You know him better than anyone else in the world. You guys shared intimate secrets, intimate details. You met in a kid's chat room playing kids games. Video games. You're 40-something years old. You're playing video games high in your basement? And that's how you met this guy? So tell the FBI that. Maybe they can read that trail and go down that trail and that path and find some other victims. Your $1,000 does nothing. Your super chat said you do nothing. Those memberships you got during that show does nothing. Contact the FBI today.
Anyone else hear about anything that had to do with him? We found out, confirmed that he pled guilty and that he's in jail Monday, actually during the recap show.
Right.
And so, and so when we got off the air, everything was confirmed. And then an hour later, I was on the air talking about it. So
I don't mind the newspaper coming on and talking about it. I understand he was very upset. But just because you found out that he pled guilty, let's say, that day, you should have known that for the past year he was going through this. It was made public in the past year. Only you would know. Maybe his wife, maybe his family members, but aside from them, you would know.
You know, here's the real question, because I know the angle that the trolls are saying, like, we knew, we didn't say anything. Well, you guys are the ones that spend all day and night online, going to people's social media pages, taking pictures of people's family.
No. Are you going to blame other people now? All the quote-unquote trolls that get information? This was your best bud. He was your number one employee. How would we know? My God, just like Carl, take some fucking accountability. I am a very bad judge of talent. I'm a very bad judge of character. I'm a very bad judge of employees. Say that to us and we will be behind you. I will be behind you. But blaming others, blaming us, trolls, for not getting information on your best bud, that's what you're telling your audience. It lacks every ounce of authenticity.
Looking this one up, this documents, that documents. You're telling me none of you found this in the year that it's been?
Wow, I didn't see this. This is insane. So now he's blaming us for not finding out that his best friend was a pedophile. We should have been searching every day just in case Pedolino is a pedophile. Oh my God.
Been out there? Or did you know something and were you covering?
What a weirdo. What a creep. I never knew the dude's pair was like this. I mean, I'm assuming he's not joking here. Maybe he is. But he's really blaming us for not figuring out that his best friend and number one employee is a pedophile? Dealing with pictures of toddlers? It's our fault? Get on the phone with the FBI today and tell them what you know. Show them all your hard drives and make sure that none of it is on yours. There are probably other victims out there that you can get in contact with. You can help those actual victims. The money does nothing. Anonymous, go ahead.
Hey, Vince, the saddest thing about this, if you look at the threads, is all the Shuley ball suckers, they're defending this child abuse. I just wanted to say one thing. They basically funded this, and they refused to denounce it. Everybody should boycott this little creep.
I agree. And until he does take accountability, until he does help, forget the accountability. If you don't want to do that, help the victims, help those toddlers that are depicted on your best friend's computer. Make sure you contact the FBI today and tell them everything you know about him, because you know where he hung out. You two met in those kids' chat rooms. You know what the names are. You think he's the only pedophile hanging out smoking weed in his basement in these kids' chat rooms? You get out there. You make sure you tell them. We don't know. It was you and him privately. In fact, you admitted the way you met, it was just you two. He was your only friend. Your only fan, I think. So you get out there and you make sure you do that. Forget that. We'll give you $2,000. But make sure you help those victims if you give a shit, and report back to us what you did, which agent you talked to at the FBI, and what you gave them. And then maybe we'll start to maybe not believe you're a creep, but to blame us for not finding out that your best friend is a pedophile is outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Thank you for Super Chat. Shuley is a big part of your entry into Howard Stern Dabbleverse. Yeah, I guess that's partially true, although I was there, I think, before Shuley.
I ask you.
Bringing up the FBI and whatnot. Remember, John was saying that we had to wait for it. I thought we were waiting for it at DabbleCon.
Oh, Mike, do you see how that doesn't work anymore? Mike's trying to say, well, John would say the FBI's coming. It doesn't matter. John was talking about stupid recordings of tapes with an adult. Shuley's guy was dealing with toddlers, Mike, with penises on their face. Do you see how this doesn't work anymore? The Uncle Pedo show doesn't work anymore. Anything you say doesn't come close to what Shuley's best bud was doing. Your number one employee was doing. It doesn't work anymore. John's not stupid. We're not stupid. The Duke knows that no matter what you say, he did, it doesn't come close to the outrageous behavior of Shuley's best bud. And that's why John will always trump you now. And this show doesn't have any steam whatsoever. 732, go ahead.
Vince, what's going on, man? You look great. You look tan.
Thank you.
Real quick. one of the real interesting things about the interactivity of this type of medium is that, you get to support people directly, not only watch, but send money to. And you like to feel good about who you're sending money to. And I feel like the fact that you're super chatting Shuli's network, and then that money is then going to pay the employees, and the employees are doing these nefarious things, whether it's beating up a 77-year-old or, the other end of the age scale, doesn't really bode well for the future. I can't feel good about giving money to an organization like that. Your comment?
Yeah, I totally agree, and that's the issue. Unless, of course, the duespayer comes clean and tells us what he did to help those victims, what he did to find more victims. You're the only one, duespayer. We don't know the chat rooms and the games that you were playing with him. You guys are best buds. In fact, all the videos that he tried to delete, we got, and a lot of them have to do with wrestling. I mean, these adults, men, they're still in the fake wrestling. Fake wrestling that these two are watching together. So, Mike, this doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work. I can't laugh at something when I know that your employee, your number one guy, is doing a hell of a lot worse than John Eric Melendez has ever done.
We're going to have to put that FBI on standby. But you knew of his arrest last year and you said nothing. I absolutely did not know of his.
Then you should have known. This was your best friend, your number one employee. If you didn't know, you should have known.
Arrest last year. The last conversation I had with him was that he was taking a break. He was going through a divorce. It was ugly. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy.
And that was it. And I said, hey man, whenever you get your shit together, give me a call. We're here. We're doing this.
That's right. He was never cut off at all. Now again, you cannot conclusively say that the duespayer knew that Pedolino was a pedophile. I mean, the name kind of gives it away, but we can't say that he knew, and no one's expecting him and holding him accountable for what Pedolino was doing, unless, of course, he was involved in it, which we have no proof of. So what we're looking to now, duespayer, is to take accountability and help the FBI. We want to hear the name of the agent you spoke to and what you told them to help those victims. You can guarantee they didn't get all the victims, not all of them. So I'm not blaming you for his actions. I'm blaming you having very, very poor judgment. I mean, extremely poor. I can't even think of anyone that hires employees like you do. Probably the worst I've ever met. So stop it. And Philip J. Russo looks really good now, doesn't he? Now, I said I love Philip J. Russo, but how great does this guy look? He looks normal compared to the duespayer's number one person. He never spoke highly of Philip J. Russo privately. Never. But Iso, oh my God, he was in love. And I know that when I heard Rob Saul say the same thing, he's being accurate because I heard it too. Never said a kind word about Philip J. Russo to me. Doesn't mean he didn't do it, but my God, he was in love with Iso. 346, go ahead.
Yo, Vinny, have you ever seen like that 60-minute special about how Israelis commit so much pedophilia in America and then they fly back to Israel and they never get extradited back?
No, but I'm sure you got it on a loop playing at your house.
Man. He might make a move. He might make a move, man. Don't trust this guy, Shuli. And let me ask you a question, Vin.
Yep.
Throughout your life, right, do you have any friends that have been arrested for child porn?
Zero. What about you?
Zero. That's all I got for you, Vince. Have a good day.
You make
brother.
a great point. I mean, the point is, statistically, it's not likely to happen in your life at all. At all. The company that you keep is what we'll judge you on. The company that you keep is what your future will hold. Guaranteed.
That's it. He never exchanged any phone calls, emails, texts, none of that for a year. I just assumed this guy was getting his life together and doing his best to be a part of his
work
kid's
with
life.
his family, right? That was
He went and worked with his family, and so I just assumed he was done with this chap.
How do you know that he was working with his family? Now, again, there's a good chance the duespayer is not lying here. I have no proof one way or another. It doesn't matter now. I know we all want to string the duespayer up and say he knew and guaranteed he knew within the past year. I saw that guy Kevin on a clip on the duespayer's fan page saying that. It doesn't matter anymore, right? That's the past. What we want to see, Dewsbury, is some action. Stop with the bullshit. Stop trying to make fun of John and Melendez. There are victims out there, toddlers, little girls. I don't know if any of you had kids, but think about holding a toddler. That's who your friend was violating. And by looking at those images, it perpetuates it. You have the responsibility now to get on that phone with the FBI right now, and I see you watching. Get on the phone with the FBI, Philip J. Russo, and let him know what you have. You met with ESO. And Bob, that goes for every one of you. Just let them know that you're there. The FBI doesn't know that you exist. Let them know that you're there. We dealt with this crazy freak. We have some information. Here it is. And go through your files and figure out exactly what you've spoken about with this guy. And let them know, because there's other victims out there. Do you ask any of your friends if they're pedos? No. I mean, I get the point you're making. The fact is that the Dewsbury doesn't go around with the questionnaire saying, are you a pedophile? I am not going to be that outlandish here. There is no proof that the Dewsbury knew. I'm saying he should have known, but there's no proof that he knew. And I won't make that representation, despite the fact the guy's picking on me all the time. They're always bullying me.
And moving on to that. So I did not know. I really didn't.
I think what threw them is the fact that you said confirmed during the show, because someone had sent us the link to the news story, but we wanted to check it out.
Can you imagine the people the Dewsbury keeps around them? And Philip J. Russo, you're making a great point here. Great point.
Out before we rushed on and said anything.
Yeah, because sometimes things aren't quite accurate on the internet.
Right. And there was Facebook stuff that was sent to us that was like
interesting.
We didn't know. We were just getting all this stuff from all these different angles, but we wanted to make sure before we go on and say this guy did this, that he did it. And according to what he pled guilty to, he did it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to tell you.
Tell us who you spoke to at the FBI and tell us what you told them. Tell them everything. Tell them how you met, where you two hung out, when you were smoking weed together. Tell them that and report back to us the name of the agent you spoke to and what you told them. And maybe we can move on from this. But until then, I will not support someone who's going to deny this, because there are victims out there, little baby victims out there. Not a joke.
You know, I know you're upset that I couldn't tell the future and know, a year and a half in advance that he would be caught doing this. But that is the...
Look at how agitated the Dewsbury is. And again, Dewsbury, show us your friends and we'll show you your future. And again, I said it before, Philip J. Russo, you may not want to rely upon him as a business confidant. You may not. But again, he looks great. He looks great right now compared to the other people you hired. Think about that. I mean, there's only one other person. If a veteran needed your army hat, would you take it off? No, absolutely not.
Truth. Sorry, guys.
So
he was like, you ever watch the show back?
Oh, yeah, there's another thing. I was away for the past 3 days, and apparently if any of you send anything negative to them and it gets through, it's me. As you hear Philip J. Russo saying, hi, Vince.
I didn't see what it said. Go ahead, put it back.
It doesn't matter. It was Vince.
Oh.
Talk about being paranoid. This is exactly why you don't keep these people around you. They will make you make poor decisions. You can guarantee Philip J. Russo was behind the threat to the president. So blinded by rage and revenge, he didn't even listen. Or maybe even he did listen, but doesn't even know that that's wrong, Dewsbury. Bob, that's why you're doing the smart thing and distancing yourself from this.
I know. He's starving out there. He's dying for some attention. It's all good, buddy. Keep doing your thing. You know.
I had no idea this was going on, but luckily someone clipped it for me.
Call your wife. I know she's not living with you.
This was very weird. So the Dewsbury, again, that little bully picking on me, and someone put this clip on Shuli's fan page on Reddit, and we were watching it on the way home. It was 2 days later, or a day later, and Lori was laughing because she would love to live somewhere else, Dewsbury. I don't know why you think that would attack me. She was laughing. I can't say just because you attack family, Dewsbury, unprovoked. Lori didn't do anything to you. She's not on any shows, nothing, but you attack family. Now, remember, Dewsbury, when you would cry to John's attorney that John attacks family. Well, why did you just attack my family there? My kids are sitting in the car listening to this. Now, again, in fairness to the Dewsbury, they're all laughing, wishing that it was true, but it's weird that he would do it. Is it weird, or what is a psychological reason that out of nowhere he attacks my family? out of nowhere. Now, I'm not upset at him. I always said you could say whatever you want. But why would the newspaper do that now? Does he feel threatened by what I know or what I'm saying? Perhaps. Is he just a cruel person and wants to attack family unprovoked? No one's talking about your family. I've always said kind things about your wife. Always.
Call your wife. I know she's not living with you.
Why? Why would he do that? It's cute. That doesn't work, Deucepair. That may work on Philip J. Russo. It may work on John Edward Melendez. It doesn't work with me, but it gives me an insight into who you really are. You see that, Bob? That unprovoked thing? Don't go crying that John Edward Melendez attacks your family when your leader here is doing the same to me. Now, I'm not upset about it. I'm not going to fake outrage, but I get to see who he really is and why he would do that. And again, Lori was laughing. She thought it was the best thing in the world. Unfortunately for her, it's not true. She would love to be living somewhere else. Love.
Call your wife. I know she's not living with you.
It's a scummy move. It's a scumbag move. Now, look at Oliver. Isn't that cute? $17. You ever try to do a $17 super chat? Try it. Our support for you guys is only growing stronger.
Our support for you guys is only growing stronger. Wow. Thank you, Oliver. I love you, pal. Thank you. 17.
Okay.
Never seen that amount. I mean, it was some fire.
Hi, Vince. I feel sick watching Shuli knowing what he did.
When John's
Hi,
wearing
Vince.
one, waste is spelled W-A-S-T-E.
Oh, maybe not.
Joanna, she's been here for, it was just made. I feel sick watching Shuli knowing what he did. Thank you.
Actually, that's why I pulled it up. Who wants to guess when this account was made?
I don't
Within
know.
the last 30 days.
Wow.
So an account made in the last 30 days that criticized the newspaper. I don't even know if that was a super chat or not. Hi, Vince. Must be me.
Oh, she hasn't been watching long. Sorry to see you go.
Wow, and they're still blocking Deucebear. The company that you keep will determine your future. And if you haven't learned that lesson by now, then you probably won't ever learn it. Thank you for the super chat. The constant claims that any criticism is you is really pathetic. It's so lazy and condescending. They're delusional about their channel show. Yeah, and again, it's okay that they do it. If I'm not watching, it will determine. I'm not watching, so I don't know. But then I go back and I see this, and that's a weird thing because I'm sure people that are really doing it are at least laughing, knowing that it's not me, but they're claiming that it's me.
Then don't watch. Why are you keeping yourself sick by watching?
Listen, no, don't worry, Deucebear and Zen there. We're not going to watch anymore. I mean, it's sickening to watch. I do agree with the comment.
He'll get another account.
So, the comment about Vince's wife not living with him was such a douche level to stoop to. Vince shows how bad you are at stand-up, and it gets to you.
Well, that's a weird thing. Oh, hi, Vince. I guess I'm a member. Worst part, I've been a member for 14 months, I guess.
Thanks, Vince.
That's weird because you would think that they would block me. I've been a member, Bob, for 14 months. Do you see the patheticness that's going on there? Do you see why the show is not listenable? But now, of course, this was all before we found out what was going on with your staff.
Nothing he does gets to me. Everything.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't seem like it does.
Everything he does is about me. I don't do anything about Vince.
I told you it wouldn't take him long to get a new account.
Yeah, his entire new channel after he nuked his 20-year-old channel to try and
Nuked my 20-year-old channel? Which channel are you referring to, Deucebear?
show that he's got a big dick and has more subscribers. How'd that work out? Oh, wait, you sold it. That's right, you sold it.
Wow, listen to this. Remember when the Deucebear said that you couldn't gain 15,000 subscribers in a month? And him and Philip J. Russo were so anti, and I showed you exactly how we did on the old channel. And Deucebear, the same company that bought mine, wanted to buy yours too. You know that it's real, and you know the price that they were offering, and you know the price that they paid me. So you can go on saying that, oh, Vince doesn't know what he's doing. I had that channel bought, made, and sold 4 times larger than yours. And I'm out. And we're coming back again with this one for fun.
Yeah. So after that, he's got this new channel. He's dying for any attention.
Well, that's true.
Every day it's a show about us. Every day it's something about us.
I guess that's partially true.
Your chat's the only reason his name came up. That's it. And it kills him. And it will continue to. Vince didn't read my super chat on his last show saying you wouldn't need to change your voice if you transition. Skull. Frog. P.S. Vince wears Uggs.
Now that is true. I did check, and they were Uggs, but I don't know if that's the exact ones. My kids and Lori were laughing their ass off when I showed them this picture. And you would think that somehow these attacks on my family would be negative towards me. They love them. They absolutely love them. They love attacking me. Mike, shitty internet provider. I know you said that I didn't read the chat. I don't remember seeing, it wasn't done intentionally. I don't remember seeing it.
Oof.
But I did check. They are Uggs. Actually, those look like them.
Yeah, that's enough said.
And two tight shirts.
Yeah, Your Honor, case dismissed.
This I have to agree with the Deuce Bear on.
You know, we're done. It's over. People have asked where is ESO within the past year, and you guys said he was still around in the background still. What's
good question? So whoever that was, apparently that's not me, Chelino, 13-month membership, saying that you said in the past year you haven't spoken with Isolino. What's the deal?
Say you. I mean, he's in the back. He's not backstage. Believe me. Anybody who's been on Rico, anybody that's been on BS, ask them if they've seen ESO backstage with us in the last year. He wasn't. He had no equipment. He had no.
My God, is he stumbling?
Gear with him. He wasn't at the house. He was living with his folks. So, you know, he couldn't join us if he wanted to. But yeah. Before we knew any of this, he was a normal guy. He was a guy that helped me start streaming. Like, I didn't know any of that shit, just like none of you knew it.
Why does the Deuce Pair keep blaming us? I didn't know any of this shit, just like none of you knew about it. Of course we don't know about it. That's your lover and best friend. And #1 employee and founding employee. How the fuck would we know anything about the guy? I always thought his name was ESO. I thought it was weird. What the fuck is ESO? I didn't know it was Isolino. Isolino. Pedolino. I had no idea what his name was. Never bothered to even look up his name. You're the one who should know. You're the one who met him in that kid chat room for the kids games at night when you were high. You guys were very, very close. You had great chemistry together. You bonded over guys shitting on faces and wrestling, fake wrestling. That's okay. But the fact is that you're trying to blame us for something that you should have known. It's very, very lame to do. It's very lame.
You know, that's just how it works. And thank you to all the people that have reached out.
Our primitive brain wants to tell us to either stand and fight or run away. Or you'll bring them up and then try to cover them in a grooming gesture.
Who've been in similar type situations, who are saying like, it sucks. It sucks.
It's scary that you don't know.
Well, and you develop, you know, some serious trust issues with everybody after that, you know?
Don't you think it sucks more for the toddler that had a penis on its face? It sucks for that little baby. And there's plenty of victims out there that you can help the FBI find. That's who it sucks for. Stop saying, woe is me. Oh, I may lose my channel. Oh, I may lose some money. What about the victims? What about the little kids, Gina Levy? You're a mom. And all those other moms that you've held a toddler before. Do you realize what this Deuce Pair's friend was looking at? That's not funny. Probably. Go and find who they were. Help the FBI today. Forget the stupid show. Forget making fun of John and Melinda. It's all meaningless. Help the FBI. You're their #1 hope. You're their only hope. He confided in you. You guys met in the same room. Help the FBI find more victims. We don't give a shit about your money. There are victims out there that you can help find. So let's see you do it. And come back to us and report to us exactly the name of the agent you spoke to.
I told Zen when we got backstage, I said, take your hard drive, your tower, and just shake it.
Enough with the jokes, Deuce Payer. Enough with the jokes.
I want to see what falls out of that fucking thing.
If you want a good pedophile joke, go to Rocco. Let Rocco punch them up. For some reason, the guy's great at pedophile jokes. I'll admit Carl was right when he said I was texting about that, but my brain's weird when it comes to humor.
Okay. Where's that old graveworm Levy?
Old graveworm. I love that.
He's on assignment tonight. He's with
yeah, an assignment to stay the fuck away from this.
Jeaner. He's relaxing. It's all good. Shuli, Vince the lawyer says after that.
Can they stop talking about me?
Comment about his crumbling marriage, he's going to punish you on his show tomorrow. Brace yourself. All right.
Where did I say that?
Righty. I'm braced.
And by the way, I don't think that's true that his marriage is crumbling. I just don't think his wife
says who
can find him.
Yeah,
I think she misplaced him somewhere, and it's just been a big problem.
This summer, The Lawyer in the Cupboard.
Unbelievable.
Kids.
Hey, kids. Hey, kids. You don't have to edit any of that, Issa. It's all covered up.
All right. With that, unfortunately, this Casual Friday was a serious show, a serious note. But now we know the Deuce Pair show just doesn't cut it anymore because John Aaron Melendez's conduct doesn't come close to what this guy Issa does. And we have all the videos. And I didn't even care about Isolino until the Deuce Pair tried to cover it up. So we're going to go through all the videos and we'll figure out what this guy did. Maybe we can help the FBI out. I mean, we're seeing here their interaction. Look how close these guys were. I mean, these are best buds. Physically, if you talk about body language, clearly Isolino's comfortable with Shuli in his personal space. My good buddy KC hates when other people are in his personal space. I get that aspect of it, which is weird because we grew up wrestling other sweaty, athletic, muscular men dressed in tights. But either way, I'll see you back here on Monday. I hope I can report to you that the Deuce Pair finally took accountability and went to the FBI with all the information that he knows. We don't care if you knew or should have known, Deuce Pair. At least I don't. I care about what you do going forward. Accept what you did. Accept that you're very bad at hiring people. Very bad at judging their character. But more importantly, make a change. You can do it today. Call the FBI. Let them know everything you know about this guy because there are other little tiny baby victims out there. Deuce Pair. That's what Gina Levy's looking for. That's what Bob's looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Some accountability. It will go a long way. Philip J. Russo, it's a lost cause. I love the guy, but you can't use him as your consigliere. Shitty internet provider, Mike. So your accounts on YouTube are Guinea the Lawyer, Vinny the Evil Lawyer. Yeah, but sometimes I see that in Rocco's thing. There's people that use my exact picture, my exact name. I never take any of that shit down. Not all of them are me. So yes and no. It could be someone using the same exact picture, same exact name. YouTube allows that for whatever reason. All right, I'll see everyone back here on Monday. I hope I can report to you that the Deuce Pair made some change. Until then, he's just a creep. Just a real big creep, in my opinion. And we're just going to have to deal with it that way. I'll see everyone back here on Monday. You in? Compromisable?
Compromisable.
All right, Deuce Pair, do the right thing. Make sure you call the FBI straight away today. Not tomorrow, today.
Thank you.
No problem.
Eso Doe, who was in this very basement. We went out to dinner in this very basement. Eso Doe.
There's a lot of babies with platinum blonde hair out there. Woo! Woo! Babies with platinum blonde. Woo! You don't have to edit it.
Forgot about the lawsuit update, and there will be update. We're in serious negotiation. I will say that John Aaron Melendez has changed his mind with regard to making a considerable offer monetarily. Nothing has been accepted. The lawsuit is still pending. And if there is no settlement, there's no settlement. But I will say that there is progress. And we'll see if it does get resolved. But it's not resolved yet. All right, I'll see everyone back here on Monday. Maybe I'll have more on that. I did forget that.
Any of that, Issa. It's all covered up.
Kids, don't do
that. Hey, kids. Telling my two daughters, girls. You never know. You got to worry about every dick when you got girls.
Eso Doe, who was in this very basement. He came over the first time Shuli came over to podcast with us. We went out to dinner after.